entrepreneurs and professionals of Tampa Bay. Welcome to your hour for getting the information, the tools, and the connections for elevating your business. Welcome to Getting the Edge with Kelly Wilson. And here's your host, Kelly Wilson.
Welcome to Getting the Edge. I'm your host, Kelly Wilson. Thank you so much for being with us today. I know there's a lot of different things you could be watching, and we're really happy that you chose Getting the Edge. So thank you so much for being with us today. Getting the Edge is a great opportunity to bring in great, wonderful business owners and leaders in our community to share, to talk about their products and services. But my passion and what I'm most excited about is really sharing their stories and learning from them. I'm a firm believer that we can learn a lot from each other. So that's what we're doing every week when we bring in new shows, is really trying to learn from each other. The edgebusinessmagazine.com, really excited about our new website, so make sure you check out edgebusinessmagazine.com. I think I've been talking for months about this new website, and finally we have it launched. So still a little formatting issues and some tweaks we need to make, but overall really excited about it. You can go on to the website and watch every previous show that we've had, well, at least for the last 6 or 7 months since we've had this new they call it Pod Vision, the new formatting from leaving the radio show. But make sure you check it out. You can also go through all the previous issues of the magazine. Really excited about our most previous one that just launched for our spring. You can go on to the website and subscribe. Only $48, and you will never miss another copy. You can have it directly delivered to your home or office. So check that out. And a lot of great content. I'd like to think we offer a little bit of something from everybody from young college students graduating from entrepreneurship schools or business schools for that matter. Really excited to be the official business magazine for USF Muma College of Business, but then to the high-level CEOs. So make sure you check it out. And I'm sure you're checking out and noticing our new studio here, and really excited. Great partner with Tampa Bay Multimedia and WeBeam TV, and they've got a great new studio location in the Tampa Bay area. So if you're looking for your own show, make sure you check them out at webeamtv.com, and definitely check out even some video work you're looking for, backdrops, anything that you might need from the filming production side of things. Check out webeamtv.com. So super excited about our show today and our guest, Jessica Rivelli, founder and CEO of Working Women of Tampa Bay. Thank you so much for being with us today.
Hey, thanks for having me, and congratulations on your new digs.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Really excited about it. Congratulations to you on 10 years.
Oh, thank you.
What an accomplishment. And, we talk a lot on the show just about how fast time goes. And, I mean, I'm sure I look now with Edge, and especially doing the new website, and we've looked at putting, some of the photos, and you look back like 6 years. But
right.
10. I mean, that's a whole decade has passed.
Yeah.
So, tell us a little bit about Working Women of Tampa Bay and what your mission is.
Yeah, sure. So it's the #1 networking organization for professional women in the Tampa Bay area. We have 700 members.
That's just amazing.
I know, right? It's crazy. They're all over Tampa Bay, and we do up to 200 events a year, so which is about 20 events a month. So very, very active.
In all different areas.
In all different areas, and I think that that's really what sets us apart, is that we have events all the way from like Lutz in the northern part of our region, all the way to Plant City, and then all the way south to, like, let's say St. Petersburg. Sometimes we've even gone down to the Sarasota, Venice area. So we really are trying to encompass the entire Tampa Bay region, because we believe that, this area is so collaborative, and that so many of our women want to do business outside of, like, let's say where they work or where they live. And so many of our women will travel 20, 30 miles to go to an event because they're looking to connect with a new group of women and expand their business. And so I really think that that's something different that we provide that our women really love, is that ability to expand and connect with women all over the Tampa Bay area instead of just, maybe in their community where they work.
Do most of the women that are members, do they own their own businesses? Like, statistically, is it the most? Or?
Pretty split.
Oh,
so a lot of entrepreneurs, but also a lot of executives.
Right.
I think that's another thing that's really great about us, is that we appeal to all types of professional women. And that's why 10 years ago when I started the organization, I named it Working Women of Tampa Bay, because I wanted it to appeal to all different industries, all different levels of professional, whether you're, that up-and-comer who's leaving the USF School of Business, right, the Muma School of Business that you mentioned, all the way to, C-level who's maybe looking to give back to the community and lift up the next generation of working women. So I think that that's something that we really focus on, and we're really great at, is being able to attract and appeal to a wide audience of professional women.
Well, what I think has been great, I think about and watching you over the last so many years, 6, I guess, or so that I've been in the community is, or however long, time just goes so fast. I think you're ambassadors, and the different people, different amazing women that come in and help build your cause and kind of spread the word and work as an ambassador, so to speak, where they're hosting events. So you're able to be in multiple locations, and not, you know what I mean? And, so I commend you for that, and just bringing everyone together the way that you have.
Yeah, I mean, it really takes a tribe, right?
Right, it does.
I mean, you hear that?
That's what I'm commending. Yeah, I think it's amazing.
There's no way that I could possibly do it on my own, and that's why I think it's been so successful over the last 10 years, is there's been literally hundreds, if not thousands, of women that have supported it over the last 10 years. And there's always a circle of women around it on an annual basis that help with, as you mentioned, they check people in at events, they make women feel welcome, they help organize things. So it's definitely beyond me at this point, which is really lovely to see that what I may have architected, 10 years ago has grown above and beyond me, Jessica, into, what is pretty much a household name in the Tampa Bay area. And if it wasn't for these amazing women who really believe in that concept of women supporting other women and lifting each other up, I don't know if we would have, been so successful at year 10. So you're right. It really takes a powerful group of women that are ambassadors that are spreading the message throughout Tampa Bay, and I couldn't do it without them.
Right. I talk a lot on the show about the Center for Women and my attachment and what the center means to me. We do a lot with Edge and trying to give back to multiple charities, but the Center for Women is always going to have a special heart, and that's where we met originally in 2014, I think it was.
Yes, that's right. Correct.
Again, it's so, time
we were just celebrating our 5th anniversary, because that's actually where we hosted our 5th birthday, was at the Center for Women. So it's been 5 years.
Time goes so fast. Yeah. And that's, another thing I was talking about on the show. Time goes fast, so you might as well just launch it, come up with what you're really passionate about, launch it, dig your heels in, be ready to pivot though when you need to, and be adaptable to change. But then before you know it, years have passed, and you're just building and growing, so that's amazing. But I can't believe, I didn't realize it was 5 years ago.
Yeah.
But no, that opportunity, meeting you and just so many of the other women that I did, and just, I don't know, it's just, there's such a great resource in the community, but I was able to learn a lot about working women and you, and get to know you a little bit at that time. So that meant a lot to me at that point. I know you have different coffee events. Tell us a little bit about the different events and types of things that you do.
Yeah, so I think that's another reason why we've been so successful, is because we're so varied in the kind of events, the times of events. So there's literally something for everyone. So we have coffees. We're up to, I think, almost a dozen in Tampa Bay on a monthly basis.
That's just amazing to me.
That really helps us make sure that we are covering the entire Tampa Bay area, are the coffees. For $5, if you're a member, you get 1 hour of quality networking. Most of the coffees are also being hosted by women, so it's a great way to come out and support a woman-owned business. Our members sponsor those coffees, so it's really a great synergistic experience when you're at the coffees, and it's literally the entry point into our organization, where for $5 if you're a member, or $15 if you're a non-member, you can come, meet 20, 25, 30, sometimes more depending on how big the space is, and get a feel for our organization. But I think the coffees are also a great way for women to check in with us monthly, because they happen in the same place, or not necessarily the same place, but the same date on the calendar every month. Gives us a little bit of routineness, whereas the other events like educational events like
Right.
LinkedIn classes, marketing classes, Business 101 kind of classes. Those are happening throughout the calendar and are a little bit more a la carte. Also, we have power lunches, we have socials, and so those rotate and are a little bit more spontaneous, whereas the coffees are a little bit more routine. So we really do have a nice varied calendar of events. And I think that that's why so many women can jump in and take part in our organization, is because there's something on the calendar in their area when they need it to be.
Yeah.
So, so often events are, networking organizations do one event a month and you miss that event.
Right.
And then maybe you miss a couple of events in a row, and then all of a sudden you feel completely disconnected from that organization.
Right. No, it's true.
And so we're the opposite. It's literally 20 events on a calendar a month. You pick and choose what fits your schedule, or maybe it's a cool place you've never tried, a tea room, and and a crafting place. We just did a candle pour in Hyde Park, and so we're always trying to keep.
Noticed that new little
it's
business
fun,
in there,
right?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
who said that networking has to be
True,
work?
true,
It can totally be fun. Women are looking for an outlet for friendship, fun, and professional development, and we're trying to hit all of those points all the time.
I hadn't thought about it that way. And like I said, that I think a lot of organizations where you mentioned they can only do one a month, I mean, that's because within their resources, typically most can only do one a month, which I think is what is amazing about you, and what is amazing, a benefit of being a member, because people are able then, to have all these options because you have so many. And I think one other thing is really cool is I've noticed you have a lot of the different members that are providing some of the educational.
Right.
So some of those that have kind of earned, these opportunities to be able to speak and educate, they're giving back, kind of like we try to do here. But you're utilizing the members to do that, which I think is amazing.
Yeah, it's an all in the family kind of philosophy. I think my years in television, which is what I did previously to starting Working Women 10 years ago, made me realize just everyone has a story, everyone has a wealth of knowledge, everyone has a skill set, and instead of having to go outside of the group to find educators, presenters, there's so much wealth within, and that sharing that wealth is what makes us so strong. And so just from booking thousands of guests during my television career, I can quickly identify who in the organization has something that will help then another group of women within the group kind of come up a notch. And for instance, one of our favorite classes of the last couple of months has actually been Instagram combined with photography. So one of the ladies in our group is an Instagram fanatic, loves it, does it as part of her business. A photographer, Brandy Morris, who does most of our headshots, obviously was the perfect fit. We combined them together, and here they are now sharing their wealth of knowledge together as a partnership to a group of women who needed a little help with photography and needed a little kind of Instagram 101, which Michelle Turpo did. And so that is a great example of what we're trying to do.
I love it.
But they're the ones who will come and take another class, and so it's constantly feeding itself. We love it.
Well, I want to talk a little bit more about that. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll be right back with more with Jessica Rivelli. Don't go far.
Finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.
Welcome back to Getting the Edge. I'm your host, Kelly Wilson. Thank you so much for being with us. Really super excited to have Jessica Rivelli here with us today. I've been wanting to get you on the show, so I'm so glad that we were able to work out schedules and get you on. And again, I commend you for 10 years with Working Women. That's amazing. I think anytime, we hit a 5-year mark, it's exciting. Then you get to 10, it's super exciting. It's a super accomplishment. So
it's important to celebrate milestones. I think that's what I've really learned over the last 10 years is especially as a small business owner, getting to that 5-year mark is like the sweet spot, right? They say if you can hit that 5-year success mark in a business, you're way more likely to survive long term. So 5 years is important. 10 years almost kind of feels like cherry on top of the sundae, is that now we know that this is a sustainable business.
Right.
And now we can continue to keep tweaking it and adding, evolving and making sure that we continue to bring value to Tampa Bay. So all businesses should be celebrating their milestone. I think it's a great time for reflection too.
Absolutely.
What worked, what didn't work, and also to be thankful and grateful for all the people that have helped you and helped, like in my case, helped me start Working Women and continue to get it to success. And that's why, as far as what we're doing to celebrate the 10th anniversary is to honor women who've helped us succeed. And we're going to do that in a dinner on September 5th as part of our anniversary. So I think that attitude of gratitude is one of the best ways that you can celebrate a business milestone. Because once again, it takes a village, right? It takes a tribe.
It does.
Nobody succeeds in business without help. And milestones allow you to reflect and then honor the women, or in my case, but anyone who's helped you grow and maintain your business, because it's a lot. It's a lot of work.
It absolutely is, and I think like you, it's an amazing feeling to have other people believe in what you're doing and want to be a part of that.
Right.
And then it says something too about the people that lead the organization.
Right.
That really, when you have those, like I said, you have pulled together something that many cannot, just because it takes a village, and to grow and have the amount of members and to be able to do the events that you do, you need the village, and they're there supporting, and they make it work, and they help and support you, and I think that's amazing.
Well, they've got to have ownership too, right? Like, this is not my organization. This is their organization. Right. And so, and this is a great business leadership tip for whether you're running your own organization, you're running a business, you're chairing a nonprofit. It's the fact that people have to feel like they're connected, engaged. If you really want something to be bigger and beyond you, you have to inspire whoever's helping you to make it feel like this is something that they own too.
Absolutely.
And so the members of our organization feel connected and engaged enough with it to feel some ownership of it. And that's why, we don't recruit, we don't advertise. I mean, almost every person that comes to our organization is coming via word of mouth, referral, maybe because they've seen it on social, but it's because our women continue to share their love for it that we continue to succeed. And so for anyone who's out there, trying to grow something, whether it's a nonprofit or an entrepreneurial venture.
Any business.
Yeah, you've got to make your clients and
your
team feel actively engaged in its success. And so that I learned that years ago, and I apply that every day and make sure that our members know that this is their organization. Yeah, I keep the wheel spinning, but at the end of the day, they're the heart of the organization. They keep the heartbeat going, and I'm here to just facilitate it. And so it's very special.
Yeah, I think I've learned that over the years, and I think even with us, when even before my world of in different careers and different things that I've done, when you feel like you're more a part of something, your involvement and everything that you're doing is the higher up. Your
Right,
energy's
right.
higher. So I always like to think of us, everybody at the same level. I want everybody on the side of me. I don't need to be in front or behind. Everybody's right along, right here together. So I think that's great.
Yeah.
So I was amazed when we were preparing for the show and to find out about your background and just all the time that you spent in TV and production. So let's talk a little bit about Jessica and where you're from, Hudson, Florida originally.
Yeah, went to Hudson Elementary, Middle, and High. About to have my 20th year anniversary, our 20th reunion. Nobody quite prepares you for that.
No, I'm probably right there too. I just don't even keep track of it.
I consider myself a hometown girl. My family's from Rhode Island, but
does your family live here now?
Some still live here, and I still have a whole lot in Rhode Island too. But I really do feel like a hometown girl. I went to North Carolina to go to college. I went to Elon, which is right in the middle of North Carolina. Started my television career there. Went to West Palm for a couple of years, and then nothing brings you back home, like the want to come back home, until you visited other places. So I just remember being in high school and thinking, I got to get out of here,
right.
and that's like, I think most 18-year-olds feel that way. I don't think I was, not common in that. So I was able to have a television career that was in North Carolina, West Palm, and then, I longed for coming back to Tampa Bay. It has a super special place in my heart. I don't think I would have wanted to start this or any business in any other place other than Tampa Bay. It's so collaborative. There's such a great business community here that really supports one another. And so I was meant to come back and meant to start working women here. But I did enjoy West Palm in North Carolina, and it allowed me to appreciate home even more. So I had a 10-year career in television.
Yeah, so tell us a little bit about that.
I like to say that I retired because 10 years in that career, if you ask anybody, probably real estate too, but anybody in media, about like that 10-year mark, I mean, it feels like a lifetime. And so I worked at 4 different television stations in those 10 years, 2 of them right here in Tampa Bay, ABC Action News and WTSP, which is CBS affiliate. That was where I was right before I started working women and left television. So I do feel like I earned my stripes.
Absolutely.
And I can officially say that I retired at the young age of 29, I think is when I retired. Loved television, taught me so much, taught me the need for publicity, taught me the need for everyone having a story, or the lesson of everyone having a story. Right. I don't regret my 10 years in television.
It probably helped grow and you're who you are today because
exactly.
of it. Right.
It definitely built who I am today. And I think what I learned about myself through having a career in TV and really having a professional corporate career is that I like to be on my own a little bit. So I learned that I had more of an entrepreneurial skill set, an entrepreneurial personality than that classic kind of corporate personality. And so I was really excited to be able to jump out of television into an entrepreneurial career that I could continue to tweak and evolve at my own pace. Right. And so that's one of the questions that I ask a lot of entrepreneurs when they're ready to jump from, let's say, corporate into owning their own business is, what lights them up? And I do think it's a certain personality that makes entrepreneurship a little easier. And so maybe some of the things that I wasn't so good at in that corporate atmosphere, following rules, guidelines,
You're more of a disruptor. I kind of joke.
Yes, being a disruptor in entrepreneurship.
Right.
Great. Being a disruptor in corporate America, although that is changing a little bit, not so great.
Right.
And so I love my television career. You're right. It built me into who I am today. Would never go back in time and change it. But I do think over those 10 years I learned that I'm better fit for running a company and exploring my entrepreneurship excitement, energy, enthusiasm than corporate. So I'm glad I learned that at like 27, 28, 29, and had a little bit of, I say that if I had to do this in my 30s, I don't know if I would be brave enough. There's something about being in your 20s and not really understanding consequence.
Right.
That
Oh,
makes you
absolutely.
a great, makes you kind of be able to leap without looking. And sometimes I feel like that's necessary when you're starting your own business. You've got to have almost a little bit of chutzpah,
right, right.
And so I'm so glad that I got the itch in my mid to late 20s than in my mid to late 30s, because I don't know if I would have the same kind of
Well, I think
curiosity kills the cat kind of thing,
Right. I think it goes back to from at certain points in our lives too. We have a certain set of responsibilities,
Right, of
We have a
course.
home. We have the things that we have we have
Right.
to keep going. So
Yes.
there's a lot more that. In fact, Laura Scott was just on the show recently, and we were talking about that. Mitigating risk and evaluating
Right.
worst case scenarios. And are you
Right.
okay with that worst case scenario? And
I didn't even imagine what the worst case scenario was. I just went for it, and then of course
that must be
right.
what we do as we get older.
Right, exactly.
You have to at least
You
think
probably
about
should
it.
do that.
Right. You have to at least
But
think
yes.
about it. And then you think,
I get
okay,
it.
am I okay with worst case scenario? Okay, I think I can handle it.
Yes.
And then you go. But we talk a lot on the show too, just about everything that's really great and worth having is on the other side of fear and
Right.
what terrifies us.
Yeah.
And we hope, we stress and encourage entrepreneurship at all ages. And listening to those inner
critics.
yeah,
Yeah.
well, our inner voices too
Yeah.
that lead us into certain things. But I think the corporate experience that you had, I think, is great because I think it gives you a sense, just more knowledge
Right.
that you can incorporate then into running your own business. And I think it's great to probably have that two-sided.
Yeah, exactly.
To have that
I mean,
experience.
it
'Cause that's one thing I
definitely
lack.
yes.
And I'm sure that piece would be great, to have had.
Yeah, I think it definitely makes me a more well-balanced person, a balanced business owner. I also think, though, a career in media allows you to understand the significance of current events, relevancy, and so I think that helps me a whole lot too. So like I said, I would never go back in time and change, the first 10 years, but I do believe that this is so much of a better fit for me, and I'm glad that I was able to kind of head this direction. And there was so many women who were instrumental in helping me take that leap. And so, like I said, that goes back to being grateful,
And it's
because
so
I might not
obvious.
have done it on my own.
You're exactly where you should be. And it's just so, and you're passionate, Anyway, we're going to talk a lot more about following your passion.
Okay.
We're going to take a quick break. Don't go far. We'll be right back with Jessica Rivelli.
And finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.
welcome back to Getting the Edge. I'm your host, Kelly Wilson. Thank you so much for being with us today. Just again, so excited to have Jessica Rivelli and have an hour to help celebrate the Working Women of Tampa Bay 10-year birthday. And again, congratulations.
Oh, thanks.
That's exciting. Really excited. Again, check out edgebusinessmagazine.com. Still a work in progress with the website, but it's come such a long way. We're really excited, again, that you can go and watch all the shows from Getting the Edge, look at all the previous magazines, and check out photos from events and all the different information we have about Edge Media and Edge Creative and all the other opportunities with Edge. Really excited within that. We've just launched recently our new community partnership, and all of the information is on the homepage of our Edge website. But within that community partnership, it includes the annual subscription, annual guest on Getting the Edge. Also, we look to our partners for contributing writers and to help us with content and to provide content. We also will share any of your promotional information unlimitedly, if that's a word, on our social platforms. As long as you provide the information to us, we'll share it. And we love promoting everything all of our partners have going on. So definitely check it out for under $500 a year. You can be a community member. It also includes your name and links and information on our website. I wanted to offer to all the Working Women members 10% discount for our community partnership in lieu of the celebration for your 10th birthday. So again, any way that we can help, or we're always looking for content and information. Really excited now to be in almost our 6th year with Edge, and anywhere we can. Always looking for great stories. Yeah. So anything that I can do, any way we can help, check out edgebusinessmagazine.com. But we'll give you a special link for all the members. We'd love to help in any way we can.
Sure.
And help honor your birthday. So again. Kudos, for 10 years. We talk a lot on the show about celebrating the small successes, but especially the milestones. And now 5 years in, we talked about 10 years. I mean, just, again, congratulations. And it takes a village. And congratulations to all of the members and everyone really that has worked so hard to work for Working Women. Your website's amazing. We talked about that a little bit. I love the touch of it.
Thanks.
Great website. So check out Working Women of Tampa Bay.com.
Yep, Working Women of Tampa
There you go. Again, 20 events a month. What is it for a membership now for?
So basic membership's $120 a year, and then we have VIP membership if you want to have some events included. We recently launched in the last couple of years a small business membership, which is perfect for organizations that have multiple women in their business. So they want multiple memberships, and then we also have a corporate membership. So we have lots of corporate support. Luckily, Pilot Bank, Grow Financial, Academic Alliance in Dermatology. I mean, that is critical to our success is we have the small business members that help, and then we have the corporate support as well. And so it's really that nice balance that keeps us sustainable.
Absolutely.
Especially as, we have a foundation now. It's been 3 years since we lost our foundation.
Yes, let's talk a little bit about that. Yes.
Yeah, so that's something, giving back is such an important piece to what we do. We encourage our members to give back. And of course, we are recipients of a lot of give backs of corporate organizations, small businesses wanting to give back. So a couple of years ago, January of 2016, actually, we launched a 501c3, which is the nonprofit arm to Working Women, the Working Women Foundation. And its primary mission and focus is to help women start businesses. So going back to my story 10 years ago, it was scary to leave television. I joke about, now how happy I am that I was able to transition, but to go back in time, even though I was brave enough to do it, doesn't mean that it wasn't scary.
Right.
And there's a lot of startup funds that need to happen, right? There's different investments that you just can't, flip a switch and turn a business on.
Absolutely.
And so we recognized that, and so we went ahead and started fundraising seed money to help women small businesses. So we've been able to give about $20,000 in seed money and services to 30 plus women here in the Tampa Bay area that were either starting their business or maybe they were at a pivot point in their business, and the startup funds were able to kind of help push them in the right direction of a different aspect of their business. I am overjoyed at the response that we've had from our members. So we've raised, I think it's about $25,000-$30,000 over the last 3.5 years. Almost all of that is grassroots fundraising, members paying $10 for a raffle ticket or buying, we have a working women tote bag that we sell for $25. So that's a significant amount of money that has been raised when you think of it as it's coming in the form of $10, $20, $25. And so we've literally had hundreds of women in the Tampa Bay area, if not 1,000, contribute in some way. And so when we're giving the money to these amazing women who are, looking for a little bit of validation of their business, not just the seed money, and they hear that that money is literally coming from dozens or hundreds of women that make up maybe one $500 to $1,000 seed money gift. I mean, it's just such a beautiful thing to think that everybody is contributing. It's not like we have one big donor that writes a check, even though we wouldn't mind that, right?
We'll take it.
The more the merrier, we'll take it. But there's something just beautiful about the fact that a lot of the funds are coming from women who have been there, and they're donating the little bit that they can when they can.
Right.
And then that it really is crowdfunding, right? I mean, we hear that term has become such a buzzword.
Right.
But this is actually the greatest example of crowdfunding. And I think the warm and fuzzy feeling that the members get when we present one of those giant checks to a brand new business owner, they realize that they're having impact. And so it's become a critical piece to what we do, the foundation working hand in hand with the networking organization to give back and to really better the Tampa Bay business community. Because yes, there's a lot of women starting businesses, but they need support.
Right.
And, it's great that Tampa Bay is constantly ranked #1 or in the top metro areas for women in small business, women entrepreneurs. But we need to support them.
Right.
And we're doing our part. And there's other organizations in Tampa Bay. Center for Women is one of them that we're founding, supporters of their women's business center. So there's other allies and partners in the Tampa Bay community that are lifting these small business owners up and helping them succeed. Because anybody can go on sunbiz.org, right, and fill out an LLC and say, hey, I own a business. But to be legitimate, to be successful, to be sustainable, they need help, and we're just one of the organizations that are helping.
Well, and that goes back to, we talked about the milestones that we hit. I mean, to get to even a first year, you can go and you can create a business, but to get to these milestones and to be successful and sustainable and to continue to grow each year, it takes influence in the community. It takes people it takes a village.
But sometimes it takes a little money, right? I mean, think about it. If you had a little bit of money in the beginning, a website, a logo, a stand-up banner.
No, I think
all these things are sometimes luxuries when you're just testing out an idea. And so, we were able to help one of our seed money recipients, Alyssa Marie. She just launched an art gallery in downtown St. Pete. So her wish was a video, an online video that would help get people, maybe off social media and into the gallery. And so it's amazing. What I love about this process is getting to learn where all these women are in their business and what are these little things like on their wish list that if they had would really be a game changer, right? And really take them to the next level. And that's what we're really trying to do. And so I'm privileged just to have met all of these women, these 30 women, and to know that we've had a little hand in their long-term success.
I think it's amazing. I will say I was married at 17, happily divorced at 36, and have really been on my single mother on my own the last decade. But really what I was thriving, which is kind of and again, everything happens in our lives to send us down the path we need to go. But Edge kind of derived from needing unity, needing that support and needing, love my family, but I didn't grow up in a family that supported entrepreneurship. So it was important for me to get around other people like me that could help celebrate my craziness, and innovation and being creative and being a risk taker and it being okay. So I just think the fact that you have done this for so many women and you can kind of help them and be that for them, that's amazing, Jessica. Thank you for doing what you do.
Oh, well, thanks. And this goes back to what we were saying, a couple of segments ago, is it's not just me. I mean, I have a board and,
But you founded the concept. We all start somewhere, and there's something to be said about that. I mean, we all work together with everything that we do, but someone has to come up with the idea and then get it going. Right. And like you said, you keep the wheels turning. Yeah. So, yes, it does take the village, and we all work together. But you're the running force behind it.
Oh, well, thank you.
No, being a single mother and a woman, and in going through and experiencing exactly, I'm very happy to now be in our 6th year, but we've come a long way, and it's those relationships, and one thing if I can maybe give some advice back, through it was really hard. I did what I could to get out as much as I could to make the relationships, but when you almost withdraw. As you're building your business, because you're not where you want to be. You maybe don't feel like you could fit in. You don't I can't go shopping this month, or I can't do this, or I can't really go out and do the things I want to do, or I can't afford. So I think the fact, I would recommend don't let that hold you back. Let that then push you. Get into these organizations, become a member of Working Women, get around other crazy people like yourself. And I say that so because I joke all the time, I'm a crazy woman on a mission, but obviously I mean that in a great way. But get around other crazy people like you. Yeah. That can help you grow.
Yeah, I think that's an important point, because entrepreneurship is lonely.
Yeah, it is.
And it's amazing how you almost never hear about that. I think there's a general perception that it's fun and exhilarating, and it is. Yeah. But when you're working on your idea, a lot of that is in your mind, in your home, or in your small office if you can afford to rent one, right? And so it can be very isolating, and it can be a very lonely place. And I've heard this from, entrepreneurs that are just starting all the way to, like an Elon Musk or a Richard Branson.
Well, actually, I want to take a quick break, but that's something else I want to talk about and touch on. We're going to take a quick break, though. We have to. We'll be right back. Don't go far. We'll be right back.
Finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.
Welcome back to Getting the Edge. I'm your host, Kelly Wilson. Super excited to be with you. This has been a great show. If you've missed any part of it, make sure you go back and catch or start it from the beginning. It's definitely been a great time talking with Jessica Rivelli, celebrating 10 years of Working Women of Tampa Bay. Again, thank you for being here with me on the show. Right before we took a break, we were talking about just the resiliency factor and just kind of everything that you're doing with your foundation. And, entrepreneurship is not for everyone. It really isn't. Right. I mean, we talk about that a lot, just what it takes, and it's not just about going to sunbiz.org and and getting an LLC. It's really about everything that takes from thereafter.
Right.
We talk a lot about the misconceptions or expectations of perfection, and we were on a couple shows ago. We were talking about that. I mean, that doesn't exist. You've got to be willing to pivot. You've got to be willing to adjust. Surround yourself with great people that are just like you, that think the way you do. One of the problems I had through the years was, it's hard. You have your family, you have society, you have everybody in your world telling you that you should be doing one thing, and knowing that inside you should be doing something else. I encourage everyone to follow that inner voice. But at the same time, when you're going against maybe what family or anyone else is telling you, it can be really difficult. So make sure you have those connections and those outlets where you can. We talk about entrepreneurship being really lonely. It can be. Even creating communities. As Jessica and I have done. I mean, it still can be, a lonely time. So you have to be careful with, just don't let it get to that point. Reach out to those others that can help you and get around other people. Get out of your heads.
Yeah, the quicker you build a network, a tribe, whatever term you want to use, the less you're going to feel that pressure, because you'll have an outlet of folks that you can share maybe some of the fears that you're having. And then also, a rising tide lifts all boats. And so if you surround yourself with other successful women, men, depending on, what kind of business you run, the higher chances that you're going to succeed. But I do think that there's not enough attention on the emotional side of building a business or, an entrepreneurial venture. And I think that now, in the last couple of months, if not more, maybe a year or two, there's been a push to talk a little bit more candidly and allow women to be a little bit more vulnerable about some of the emotional intensity that comes with not just starting a business. It could be starting a nonprofit, any type of major project, plus things that are going on personally. And so, so surrounding yourself with, in this case, really great women is both a professional necessity and a personal necessity. And until women get better at talking about fears and things that are going on internally, and then also, being able to work through asking for help. We got to get out of that, right? Like, we got to quickly, talking about pivot, we got to pivot from being too closed off into more of a philosophy of giving and also asking for help. And so the sooner you surround yourself with great people and not be afraid to ask for help, especially resources and connections around growing your business, the quicker you're going to be successful. And also, you're just going to feel a lot better about what you're doing so that you don't get lonely or you don't get crushed by the pressure of starting something new. And so it's really important to talk about. I wish that we were talking about it more, because there's, I think, a false perception that it's just this exhilarating, fun ride.
Oh my goodness!
And there's definitely a darker side to it that you got to be willing to ride it out. Like I was saying, there's the higher highs and the lower lows, and if you're not willing to kind of ride through that roller coaster, you have to be adaptable, and you have to be willing to get rid of it.
Thankful for the tough times, those obstacles. Although nobody wants to see them coming, but working through those is what the growth that you experience. And I think allowing
Right.
yourself to, you become a different person. I think that's where the wisdom comes into play, is
Right.
when you can really learn from, hey, okay, this is what I experienced by doing this. These are the, it's just, that's how we grow. And so you learn to almost be thankful for those, because each obstacle teaches you something different. But it is, I was to have a conversation with someone recently about, and we have an upcoming article that we're working on for the new issue, which is about almost, post-traumatic stress, from dealing with these emotions that we go through building a business, and then trying to build the business and grow it. And but there is some stress that kind of just that is there. And again, how do you work through that? It's that emotional aspect.
Yeah.
And it does have some, it's not all highs. It definitely has some lows that even, I think, once you get to a stability marker, you still got to have these stress moments where you're waiting for something, to happen.
Yeah, anxiety. The problem is that stress will kill creativity.
Absolutely.
And
true.
so, we talk about the fact that a business constantly needs to evolve, especially in this kind of atmosphere where things are just, right? There's a new innovation coming out all the time. And so, we all know the story of Blockbuster and all of these basically business dinosaurs. And so if you don't want your business to get stuck in the past, you need to be able to think creatively, out of the box. We talked about the word disruption. Those are all
minimize stress
buzzwords.
as much as possible.
Right, because if not, it'll completely kill any type of creativity or brainstorming you have. And so, I hear all the time, I can't take a vacation because I'm, building my business, or I'm afraid to, step out of my business because of the fact that I don't know if my employees are ready to quite take over. With all those different things, those excuses, right, we use to be able to kind of extract ourselves from being in the business so that we can work on the business.
Right.
So I highly recommend, that is one of the biggest tips I have about being successful, is give yourself time to be able to come out, look big picture, look down on your business, and that's not going to happen when you're
from
stressed.
the outside
Right.
in.
If you're
Constantly in it.
right, I'm a roll up your sleeves, get the work done kind of girl. I probably am sometimes too stuck in the inside of my business, but I do know that some of the best evolutions of working women have come when I've been able to take a step back, observe, hey, this isn't quite working, or that's not quite working, or what if we did this? And so if you're stressed, if you're sick, if you're not taking vacations, if you're not delegating, all of these are huge landmines that are just plotted all over your business that at any point could go off and kill your dream.
Right.
So don't be afraid. Exercise, mental health, as far as like meditation, reading, whatever it takes for you to kind of zone out and kind of stress relief,
De-stress.
that is essential to long-term success as a business owner. And
Great advice.
sanity,
Right.
Nobody wants to run a business and be stressed out all the time and like constantly putting out fires and running around with, your hair on fire.
Right.
Ideally, we all want to have a little bit of sanity and a little bit of stress-free life. And
absolutely.
I don't think that we can switch one for the other. If you think that you can't live a little bit more of a stable, sane life because you're an entrepreneur, I would argue with that and saying you're doing it wrong.
Right.
It doesn't. You don't all have to be like Elon Musk sleeping in their office.
True.
You know what I mean?
It comes to a certain mindset, I think, that we get to at a certain point, which allows us then to take a step back and like, okay, I'm far from where I want to go, but I can see what I've accomplished. You become grateful for the steps that you've taken. I wake up every day thankful for everyone that in my world that's helped get to where we are today. And then even for my own determination and resilience, that kind of keeps you going forward, but it takes a village.
And reflection time, right? This goes back to what I was saying about milestones are a great time to reflect, but not the only time to reflect. If you are not building time in your work schedule to reflect on what has been successful and maybe what hasn't, and then what will make you successful in the future, then you're not going to grow.
Absolutely,
And so
right.
I feel like
That kind of goes
some
back
of the
to pivoting.
best time is quiet time. You know, if you're not spending enough quiet time on your business, then something is long term is not going to be right.
And that's where I think there's a balance to everything, because something that I experienced was almost too much quiet time, where I kind of went through and strategized and reevaluated and worked on myself. But then it can, if you're borderline introvert extrovert, can almost send you too far into the introvert, way.
Yeah.
So it's just, and again, everything's great with moderation, balance, right?
Yeah, a careful balance, right? And so you should be building a network, getting out regularly, but not being out so much that you don't have quiet time to reflect on key decisions and also key successes or failures in your business. So you're right. I used to hate that word balance, because that seemed to be a word that they would throw around a lot, specifically about professional women having it all.
Right.
But yes, balance as a business owner, internal versus external is really important. And I think as we grow as a community, or as a humankind, and we're more apt to be vulnerable and talk about some of these challenges, I think that we will get more comfortable with whatever it takes to be a better business owner, right? And so I'm really excited that you're seeing a lot more candid conversation about, like we're having, about what it takes to actually be a successful, healthy, happy business owner.
An individual, overall
An individual.
Right.
Like, why would anybody build a business that was going to crush their life? Well,
everything's okay temporarily, but we have to be looking towards where we're going.
Right.
I think, again, there's so many questions. I could go on. I know we're about out of time. I could go on forever. I mean, there's so many things I didn't get to, too, that I wish we could. We'll have to bring you back on so we can kind of talk more about it.
I'd be glad to come back.
Yes, it's been great. So, again, congratulations on 10 years. Definitely check out the website, workingwomenoftampabay.com. Become a member and be a part of this amazing organization. And no matter where you live, no matter what part of the region, there's going to be something for you to do. So looking forward to getting more involved with Working Women and helping out and being a part of that. So thank you again for being here. Definitely check out edgebusinessmagazine.com and subscribe today. Never miss an issue, and keep up to date with what we've got going on at Edge. And we'll see you next week on Getting the Edge. Thanks for being here.